go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. As always, I'm joined by the Masters crew, the Doc, Dynasty Owl. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing great.
I'm great.
Yep, good stuff. I'm going to be coming back at you guys today. 3 running backs, Dynasty football, that we think you should sell now, post the NFL draft. Before we do, if you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Come be a part of the Masters family. Love to have you. With that said, let's jump right into this, guys. Whichever one you want to go first. Dynasty, running back, sell. Floor's all yours.
Go ahead, Al.
All right, I'll take the lead on this one. So my guy it was really pre-draft what started to kill his stock. The Aaron Rodgers bombshell dropped, and was it the Thursday morning the draft kind of went?
Yeah.
So, Green Bay just seems like they're heading for trouble. Obviously drafting Jordan Love the first round last year and then A.J. Dillon round 2. Then they signed Aaron Jones to that extension, but I got to tell you, with all the Aaron Rodgers drama, that on top of that, A.J. Dillon's for sure going to get some carries. And then in the 7th round, they draft Kylan Hill, which I know 7th round might not even make the roster, but Kylan Hill's a talented running back. Again, he's not Aaron Jones, but I just think the combination of we've seen Matt LaFleur try and feed 3 different running backs, late last year.
Yeah.
I think he could try and do that again. But the biggest thing about all this is just if Aaron Rodgers is not their quarterback, that whole offense is just not going to have the fantasy appeal that we want it to. So for that reason, definitely selling Aaron Jones if I can get a nice price for him.
Yeah, I think it's a good call because when I look at that offense without Rodgers, not excited at all. And one thing I wanted to add, I thought it was interesting. I seen a stat about the Packers, just kind of blew my mind. It said the Packers had their last 10 first-round draft picks were 9 defensive guys and the 1 quarterback to replace Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. And then they kind of act like they're shocked that he's unhappy. I mean, come on, man. I just want to put him on Monday Night Football. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Exactly.
On top of that, I mean, obviously Aaron Rodgers, league MVP, insane talent. But if you drafted a quarterback in the first round last year, you better believe in him. And if you got all these crazy trade offers for the league MVP, I mean, why wouldn't you just trade him and just cash in and just you've already started to commit to the future.
Yep.
I wouldn't refuse to trade him at this point. But again, I mean, I would never have drafted Jordan Love in the first place. I'd be still rocking it with Aaron Rodgers competing for Super Bowls.
Exactly,
But yeah, I mean, that franchise just again, we'll have to do another show on that.
Yeah,
that could be a whole other show because they completely botched it. They should have just traded him when all that stuff happened because now they're probably going to end up getting nothing from him. And, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Aaron Jones is a sell for all of those reasons. I mean, just nobody on that offense is as attractive without Aaron Rodgers under center. So I'm all in on that. I agree.
Yeah, right. Good stuff. I'm going to jump into my running back now. And I just want to throw this out there. If you've been watching the show for the last year, and I hope that you have, I've been one of the biggest naysayers on this guy since day one. These guys have always tried to argue with me and tell me that I'm wrong. My guy that I'm recommending to sell now is going to be James Robinson. I've been telling you guys forever. No, you know what? And I just want to throw this out there. A couple things I thought about James Robinson and why I wanted to use him because I do think he's an obvious sell now. 2 reasons. First one is I want to give you guys credit. You guys have been saying it for the last year over and over, man. Get rid of this guy. And, I mean, here we are sitting here today, and you guys were 100% spot on. I think that was a good call.
Sweet.
And the second reason is because I'm actually sitting here trying to think, how can you salvage some of the value that you had in James Robinson? And I came up with a little theory I'm going to pass along to you guys, just something you might be able to do to get a little bit of value left out of this guy. And for me, if I'm sitting on James Robinson, I'm going to the top of the draft order. I'm going to try to find the guy that's planning on drafting Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
And if I can find him, I'm starting at the 1.1. Hey, man, I don't know who you're planning on taking, but here's James Robinson if you're planning on taking Etienne.
Yeah.
And I do think you could possibly still get a second rounder out of that guy. Reason being, we don't quite know what the rotation is going to be. Obviously, long term, it's not James Robinson's job anymore. At least for this one season, I think it is one of the better handcuffs to have in the league.
Definitely.
So for me, it was just kind of an idea where you might be able to get some value out of this guy still.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We had mentioned the GM kind of making it known that they didn't really like what they had at running back. But Urban Meyer, he did kind of give a little bit of life still to the James Robinson
always
owners.
say that.
Yeah, well, which it's totally wrong
Yeah.
and very dumb of him to even say. But the fact that he came out and was like, "Oh, ETN's going to be third down back," I mean, at least for right now, there's still a little bit of value you can squeeze out of James Robinson, and kind of push the fact that, hey, Urban Meyer even said, not really sold on ETN getting a full workload right away. So I agree with you in the fact that you can sell him as probably, the best handcuff in the NFL right now. And, he still might have a decent role this year as ETN kind of grows into the NFL. So
Right.
I like the take. I think it's still probably the best time to sell him.
Yeah, and I think go to and not only look at those guys at the top of the draft, but look over his roster, man. See if you can find a little piece that he might be willing to throw in with the second round pick.
Right.
And a guy that comes to mind like Henry Ruggs. I don't know if that would move the needle. Well, just a younger guy, with a lot of potential left, maybe a second round pick. He wraps up his run. He secures his running back position. Just a thought.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So the most wrong I was about James Robinson is I thought they'd at least wait until round 3 before they got the guy who's playing him. They did
that is very
won.
true. Yeah, we never really thought they'd take one in the first round.
I will say this. I mean, obviously I think he's a sell, but I do think there's a small chance, maybe they, like a Mark Ingram Kamara situation where we saw both those guys for a couple years both return value. Like maybe James Robinson, as ETN's young, they kind of both for a year or two both contribute.
Yeah.
But long term, no way. So, and I still have James Robinson in one league. I just never really tried hard enough to sell him. Regret it a lot.
Right.
But like you said, my strategy is I'm just kind of waiting until after the rookie draft. As soon as I see who that ETN owner is, I either start trying to trade James Robinson to him or throw him some feelers for just try and pair him maybe. But I don't know, because ETN, he could get banged up at times, and then James Robinson could be the starter for weeks at a time. But long term,
Right.
his show's over.
Yeah. It's funny. I finally come around and say, all right, sell James Robinson. Here comes Dynasty. Well, maybe for the next couple years.
Hey, you gotta be buying when others are selling.
That's
selling
right.
when they're
That's
buying.
right. I'm with you.
That's why we're broke on Dogecoin.
I've been an early investor since 5 cents, and somehow I've managed to make like $200 by trying to maneuver my way around there. All right. Was that the last one?
Oh wait, no, I gotta go. I think. Yeah. So my pick is Melvin Gordon. So the Broncos, not only has Melvin Gordon had his own issues with injury and even some off-field stuff in the past season, but I mean now the Broncos add maybe my favorite running back in the entire draft in Javonte Williams, and I mean, did you guys realize Melvin Gordon I think he was 12th last year in fantasy running backs, which I think that was crazy to me. I didn't realize he had that good of a season. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, that's a very quiet top 12 season. So, I mean, that for one is a great offense for Javonte Williams to slide into, but that's besides the point. The fact that, the Broncos were willing to invest in a running back, and, not first round, but high enough in the second round to get a guy like Javonte Williams, I think that's curtains for Melvin Gordon. Add in the fact that he has the long history with injuries, and again now some of the off-field stuff. It's for me, it's enough to sell him. I don't really know what you get in return, but I mean Melvin Gordon's only getting older. His value is only going to get lower. I mean, now might be your last chance. I mean, this could be similar to like a Gurley situation where like a year from now he might be struggling to find any team to take him.
Yeah, so, zero value.
Yeah, I think it's again, you're not going to get what you would have got for him like 2 years ago, but I mean, it's best to try and get something for him now because this is Javonte Williams' team, and I don't think it's going to take long before Melvin Gordon gets the boot.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. My only hope for Melvin Gordon is he gets the boot somewhere to like Atlanta or Miami, who could maybe really use a running back. But yeah, I mean, the odds of that happening, I mean, he's pretty much dead at this point, as you mentioned. The Todd Gurley route seems to be the way Melvin Gordon's heading.
Yeah, the only value I can I mean, I keep thinking if Aaron Rodgers lands in Denver, but
Yeah.
still long-term value, it's just shot.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. Sell Melvin Gordon. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this edition. 3 Dynasty running backs we recommend selling now. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Look for our place to play Dynasty football, mastersfantasyfootballleagues.com. Over 600 leagues, never folded a single one. Also posting fresh orphan teams daily. Go to our homepage. You'll see the orphan link at the top of the page. Previous owners paid your deposit, so you get the team at half price. Any last words, guys?
Thanks
No.
for listening.
Thanks for listening.